Good evening, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, bà nói gì?
Good evening, guys. Please, can you hear me?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please, can more people confirm if you can hear me, please?
I can hear
Can more
you.
people confirm if you can hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you. Loud and clear. We can hear you.
Thank
We
you
can
very
hear
much.
you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so how's the weather treating us?
It is so hot. I can't think. I don't understand what's happening in this country. Everywhere is and they refuse to bring the light. I can't.
It is
I
so
don't know.
hot, okay.
It's so hot.
That's how. Are you in Kaduna or Kano or where?
I can't even compare Lagos and Kaduna this period because I don't know which one is hotter.
It's actually hot.
Some of us are living
Can you
Kaduna.
guys mute
your mic, please?
Even those of us in Band A, we no longer see light.
Band A and Band Z like this, I know they different again. I don't even understand.
So we have light though, we are Band A.
Your own band don't pass Band A.
So you can relocate to Port.
We have lights in Nigeria. We have
I served in PH now. You guys know the thing about PH. Anything with PH is always extra. If it's rain, it's extra rain. If it's sun, it's extra sun. I don't understand that. I don't understand that state. Everything is always extra.
If you from Bandi are complaining, what of those that are in rubber band? What should you do?
You better go find your band.
Which one be rubber band?
You better go find your band. But rain fell here, and it's kind of cold, very cold. I'm actually in the cold right now. That's why I had to ask. I'm outside like this, shivering.
Which state are you? Not for Lagos.
Which one is where am I? You want to kidnap me? No, Igbo evil plan. I wouldn't do.
I want to kidnap you.
You see, I'm now. I talk am. Anyways, good evening. Welcome to class. I had to switch to the weather part so that you guys will know that for people that is hot where you are, you know it's not easy to learn in this kind of situation, this kind of period, because of it is hot. For people that are in where me I am, people that were in UK that look like Nigeria, that cold don't enjoy us like this. The point is it's not easy where we are also because we are shivering. So at the end, what I'm just trying to get at is that both ways, either ways, it is not easy for me that I'm teaching and for you that you're learning. So the only way to get over this, or the only way to make this all worthwhile, or the only thing to make, or the only thing that will not, let me say, there's two different things to happen after I can result. First thing that has to happen is after all my stress, after all the things I went through. Second is the person that does not even talk about all the stress that the person went through. The person that does not talk about all the stress is the person that passed through. The moment you pass, you will not remember all the wala. Everything becomes beautiful memories. They all become amazing memories. For people that failed, it becomes after all the stress and all the things I went through. My point is, I know you don't have it in your control. Either you don't know you don't know the question that is going to come out. You don't know the examiner that is going to mark it. Why don't we put the ones we have in our control? Why don't we do better? Why don't you do better with the one you have in your control? The one you have in your control is how you read, how you structure your reading pattern. Some of you are still sleeping 7-8 hours. Some of you are still sleeping 6-7-8 hours by March. The exam that is me. I used to tell me, I can't release this that advert thing. It means exam is happening. No, there is nothing. If you should rain stone, that exam will happen. No, it will be natural disaster. No, but if you do anything that is raining, that exam will happen. So my point is, at this point, I don't think you should be. You should be sleeping and should be seeing SFM. I know we've not done much, which is a fault from our end. But believe me, when we start packing these things up, they will be all jam-packed. So what I'm saying is, at this particular point, nobody should be sleeping full sleep. No, now you want chatter, you want ACA to be at the back of your name. People saw the material I sent, although I don't do that anymore. I was when I first qualified. That's why I do all of those. You see, at the end of the material, my name is everywhere. And why I stopped is I actually noticed Apex is I think that material was one of the materials I did when I first started with Apex. So I noticed that Apex is actually a very, very big platform. Then before I knew it, my name is everywhere. And like there was one time I went to one particular lecture center and I saw somebody with my material, with my name. It's good to have. I'm supposed to have felt good, but like it felt awkward, and that's the center I saw. Now imagine centers I don't know where that name will get. Mr. Kadu is comfortable with it, but me, no, I don't like my name going everywhere. So what I'm saying particularly is, although now I've stopped all the materials I sent prior to this one. This one is because it's for previous, and 80 pages is too much for me to start with. I just had to use that same material anyways. But like all the previous one I said, my name is no longer there. I don't become experienced accountant now, so I don't need to be flaunting my name everywhere. But what I'm saying particularly is you that want to be in this program and you've been here. As you are here like this, let's take it serious. Please pass SFM. I don't like I used to be. I don't care if you don't pass the rest. It's you that care if you pass the rest. But me, please pass my course. Thank you very much. That's all I had to say. So thank you. So let's run through what we have to do today. Anyways, where do we start from now? Okay, first of all, let me run through something. For people that took liberty of doing my assignments, well done. And I think I graded a couple of you that submitted. Thank you very much for doing the assignment. God bless you. So let me run through it with you. For people that did it, please, you can cross-check if what you did is correct. I'm just going to call the answers for you, please, because I don't have time. I took time. I solved it myself. See, let me tell you something. Before I go to over the week, I had 2 experiences that were not nice from the students. One of the experiences I had was the materials. Please, I don't know. Maybe when I send materials, maybe you should be saving it or be sending it to your friends. WhatsApp is very good now that your number is also saved on your WhatsApp, like your own number. It's called me or you, anyone, or you can just be sending these materials to yourself. People kept calling me to send materials again. Please, these things are not comfortable. That's why Mr. Kadu just looks like he's always parrying on the group chat. It's not shouting. It's from experience. These things are not always easy. The numbers of students. Imagine those amount of numbers calling you or texting you. Texting is even fine. Calling, I don't know. It could be frustrating sometimes. Some people call you 6 a.m. Some people call you in the midnight, ungodly hours. So like it could be frustrating. So what I'm saying is, once the materials are sent or want something, just keep it somewhere so that you don't have to bother somebody. And I still even took the back. I think it was last week. I sent all the materials again. Then somebody was still calling me last week that there's no material I did not send. And the person kept on dragging with me that I did not send. That's why I sent this material. Until I sent screenshots to the person. It's not that I should send it. I said I'm not sending it. She didn't say I did not send it. Sometimes I did not send it. So please, let's keep materials. That's number 1. Number 2, what's number 2? I've forgotten, but when I remember, I would say it. Anyways, for people that did the assignment, please check the assignment so that you can check if you are correct. If you are wrong, please reach out to my other number so that I'll check where you got it wrong. But I think almost everybody that did it got it correct anyways. So for the, I know when I remember the second one, most of these questions that are in the question bank, believe me, I don't know where I got it from. Because I saw another thing is people kept asking me which diet is the question. Believe me, I honestly do not know. I cannot be. I don't know. Even when I was writing, I don't think I used to. I've seen people that they know the diet the question came out. I don't used to cram Pathfinder. I solve Pathfinders a lot. I don't used to cram the year. Let me just go and look for a question I'm looking for. So I don't know where those questions are coming from because people kept on calling me that I see one question. Where did I get it from for solution? I don't know where these questions are from. Believe me. I just gathered them from textbooks, some from Pathfinders and books here and there, and I kept them there. I don't know. And even me, because I don't know where I got them from, I don't know where the solutions are from. So that's why I always solve them in class. So those questions I solve in class, believe me, it's good as new. I'm just saying them at first time. This question, I want to call the answer for you. I took the liberty to solve it myself. And it's the answer I got, I want to call for you people. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know where those questions are from. So last diet, our adjusted present value. This time I'm telling you, it caught me because when we do APV is kind of complicated. That the solution I did in class, apparently there was a mistake there. So I think somebody now found it in Pathfinder. I think we're even about to be done with APV, but the person that brought my attention to it, I had to go back and tell my students to correct it. But if I had seen the solution previously, I would have known that, okay, what I did in class was wrong or something. But I don't know. I don't know where these questions are from. So I always just solve them as good as new in class. That's what I'm just trying to let you know. So what me I got for the first covariance, for covariance, it was negative 9.72. For people that have it, I think that's correct. For the covariance, please, I'm talking about the portfolio theory assignment. Please. For the covariance was negative 9.72. For the correlation coefficient would have been a negative correlation coefficient, which is a negative 0.84. If you have something close, it could be rounding up error, but you are supposed to have negative 0.84. Then the negative part, if you do the return of the portfolio, you're supposed to have 19.1. That's what I had anyways, 19.16. 19.16, which is 0. Don't let me even go there. The return of the portfolio is 19.16. The risk of the portfolio is 2.29. 2.29. That's the risk of the portfolio. So for the first correlation coefficient, which is +1, you're supposed to have 3.93. For the first correlation coefficient of +1, you're supposed to have 3.93. For the second correlation coefficient of 0.5, you're supposed to have 3.56. Then the next correlation coefficient of 0, you're supposed to have 3.15. Then for the what now? Which one is there again?
-1.
Okay, for the next
-1.
negative one, you're
-1.
supposed to have 2.09. 2.09. So if you got it correctly, you can give yourself a round of applause. If you do not, you can please cross-check and do it again. Now, let me say something. When I can ask you for conclusion, don't rack your head too much. Somebody gave me a conclusion, and he had absolutely no relevance with what the person got all this. According to what I said, the person got the solution, but the person gave me a conclusion that had absolutely no relevance with what you are solving. You are quoting something else for this. So I'm saying, when I can ask you for conclusion regarding SFM, that thing you solved, just tell them what you noticed in it. It's just like case study. What you solved, just tell them what you noticed. If it's something that is higher than 1, and they say 1 is higher than 1, that is what that's your own conclusion. Jonathan, don't think out of the box. Don't go and be cooking rice with plenty water before you go and be using words you're not supposed to use. What I'm saying is, just say something according to this now. Simple. It can be concluded. It can be concluded from the calculations above that the lower the covariance or correlation coefficient between securities, the lower the portfolio risk and vice versa. The lower the correlation coefficient or covariance, the lower the portfolio risk and vice versa. You saw that when you had +1, you have 3.3. The moment you reduced it to 0.5, you have 3.56. It went down. The moment you reduce the correlation coefficient to 0, the value went down again. So the lower the correlation coefficient or covariance, the lower the portfolio risk. Low baton. That is all. For people that don't understand low baton, that's finished. So you don't need to cook unnecessary food. Please, am I fine? I hope so. Am I fine, please?
Yes, please.
You not answer me.
Thank you.
Mr. Ifeanyi, talk to me.
Sorry, sir. I want to ask a question, please. I was solving a question with respect to this portfolio project stuff. So I was getting, what's it called, my beta as a very, very ridiculous number. And I was thinking there was this format. I was thinking that you could use a different format, and I tried the format and it was not going through. And I also tried this one too, and it wasn't going through.
I'm sure you have done something. Send it to me now. Let me look at it.
All right, sir. Thank you.
That's my other number. Don't send it to my
yes, sir.
My private number.
Yes, sir.
So what else? Does anybody want to tell me something? Can I fire on? Permission to fire on, please. The people streaming on YouTube, I hope you can hear me clearly. I just really do hope you can hear me. Is there even anybody streaming on YouTube? Hold on.
Fire on gallantly, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Miss Miriam, not that I want to fire on. That's when you want to ask me a question. Oh, you ask me. You know that when I'm already firing like this, you cannot ask me anything.
Sorry,
Talk
sir.
to me.
Sir, please, I was solving past question on May 2021, question 6. I
I don't know what
realized
is
that
there.
sir?
I don't know what is there, only if you tell me.
Yeah, so when they were calculating the overall company's beta, they did, I don't know, I don't understand what they did there. But they did not go through that normal route that we use. They use another method. I don't understand.
Did you try our own method? Did he give you the same thing?
Mm-mm.
You didn't try it, Abi did not give you the same thing.
It wasn't giving me the same thing.
Maybe you didn't try it
Or
correctly.
maybe I didn't
Just
calculate it well. I don't know.
look at it again and make sure you calculate it correctly and make sure you know what you are using. Like I always tell you, SFM is very, 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 very diverse, especially if you read Pathfinders. It's very diverse. So the way I solve something might be different from. So what I always tell my students is use our own method. Try it if it gives you the same answer. Now compare the two. Look for your own simplest, the one that you understand the most. When I learned SFM, it was not through my lecture. For people that stay in Port Harcourt, I don't want to mention the name of the center. I don't want to promote the center, but it's the most popular center in PH, anyways, around that stadium road, Chinda, to be precise. So anyways, so like when I was there, I didn't particularly learn anything in the SFM. Not like I didn't learn anything, but like it was not the best of knowledge in the SFM class. But like the method the man taught me in class, I had to join other methods from other I don't like to read plenty textbook. I just speak about 2 textbooks and I compared the method and I even compared the textbook and I picked the one that I worked on. The other textbook, I'd not set my eyes on that textbook till I finished SFM. Even I had to dash somebody. I'd not even write my name. That's how bad it was. I'd not write my name on that textbook. I will not mention name. I'd not write my name till I dash somebody. Since I've compared the one that I know that I will understand better, and I used that one, and glory be to God, here I am today. So what I'm saying is just look for the method that works for you. Roberto, that's why you need to solve questions. When you solve questions, you try this method, then you pick the one that works for you, then you're fine to go. Don't join a lot together. Oh yeah, Mr. Francis, please, real quick. I have a lot to do.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Please, I just want you to speak to the first requirement that you asked us to leave out of the assignment. Speak to one of the requirements you asked us not to solve it. I want to know. I try to rally my head around it. I don't seem to get it. Can you speak about this?
I cannot speak about it though. Maybe if you can, I don't know. Send me what you've done. If I can correct it, I would. If you get 4 out of 5, you don't try now, Abi. There's a particular mathematics that is happening there, and believe me, I'm not just ready to go there. That's why I did not, because I feel like it's going to just a whole lot of. It's not like a whole lot of maths happening there, but it's just mathematics. So if you have the time, you can text me. I can send you a voice note if I remember. But it's not a big deal. This is not the exact question that will come out now. You know the things you need to know already. Don't worry. Anyways, now, please, no more questions, please. I'm already, let me fire on, please. Now, let me say something. If you've not been listening to me before, sure, when I did bond valuation, when I did conflict of interest, when I did introduction to SFM, when I did portfolio theory, if you had not been listening to me, if when I speak, you sleep, my voice bores you, or the way I take my classes, the way I speak my Yoruba in my class, the way I say Yoruba is the language of God, the way I make my jokes and all those things, you don't like it, or you've never enjoyed my class, please, how would I say it? Let's put away our beef. Put away your beef for me. Now, you need this SFM before you qualify. If you don't pass it, you don't qualify. What I'm saying is, I need you to listen to me at this point. I need you to pay attention at this point. I need you to put away distractions at this point. I've noticed the way some of you attend classes. Some of you lie down. We're done. And say, I'm clapping for you. You lie down to attend SFM classes. Nice one. You will lie down, you now put phone. Before, I think it was one of our classes, somebody was snoring in the class. We're done. You will lie down, you'll be attending SFM class. Clap for yourself. So some of you, the way you take the classes, I'm expecting most of you to be seated. Some of you don't even have Bible. You don't have book and Bible. You just want to listen to me. Even me that I'm lecturer, there's Bible in front of me like this. But anyways, what I'm saying is, last diet, something happened last diet. This investment appraisal, believe me, I'll be here till April. This is what we'll do till April. If you are very fast, we'll finish like first, second week of April. So this investment appraisal took me practically about 1 month or 1 month and a few weeks last diet. We did all types of investment appraisal. By this time, there was no one question on investment appraisal last diet. There was no one, and that's the first time. It's usually number 1 or number 2. That's the first time it's happening. It shocked everybody. It's the exam. They can decide to do whatever they want with it. Nobody's going to check their hand. But what I'm saying is, for you not to come out last diet, there's a high chance it might come out this diet, or it will come out this diet. If I can't have skipped it completely last diet, I'm sure they might want to put it in there this diet. And if it comes in there, it might not come once. It might come twice. I'm just saying, all these things are just predictions. It might not come once, it might come twice. So what I'm saying is, let's learn just listen to me. That's all you need to know. Another bad thing about investment appraisal is, if you miss the total background, please, I don't expect you to be missing my classes from now. If you miss the total background, we'll have problem and you'll be drawing me back. Because there are some explanations, there are some terminologies I will say, maybe how to grow something. Once you need to go, the meaning of, as of now, the meaning of currently, the relevant cash flows. If you miss that particular class, then you come after, you'll be drawing me back, which I will not even accept. I'm giving all this so that we don't have problem. I will not accept. So I expect that by Monday, my classes are always on Monday. Please try to spare that time. Please just try to spare that time and let's be on the same page and listen to me, please. Now let's start. Now, let me first run you through the things we will do here first. Now, the topic is capital investment decisions or investment appraisal. Anyone? Capital investment decisions or investment appraisal. Now, under this capital investment decisions or investment appraisal, these are the topics we'll take. First of all, we'll take basic investment appraisal. Under basic investment appraisal, that's where we talk about our NPV, our IRR, our MIRR. MIRR is modified internal rate of return, payback period, payback period, accounting rate of return, project duration. All those ones are basic investment appraisal. So that's the first one, which is practically, by the grace of God, I want to finish it today. So that's basic investment appraisal. From there, we'll now do advanced investment appraisal. So we'll do advanced investment appraisal. This is where we'll now consider our what? We'll consider our we'll do our what's the name? Our MPV. But in this MPV now, we'll now consider cash flows, our relevant cash flows. We do inflation, we do taxation, we do working capital under the advanced investment appraisal. From there, we'll speak about adjusted investment appraisal, adjusted present value, APV, adjusted present value, APV. So we spoke about that. After that, we'll now talk about international investment appraisal. International investment appraisal. From international investment appraisal, we'll also talk about specific investment decisions. Under specific investment decisions, we talk about buy, lease or buy, all those things. So speak about specific investment decision. If time permits us, from there, I will link it to option and option pricing. That's another topic. That's my last topic for my part. So I'll list it. I will just link it to option and option pricing. So those are everything we'll talk about, basically. Now, I cannot ask all of them. Only God knows the one they will ask. It can be international investment appraisal. It can be adjusted present value. It can be normal. And the thing is, this MPV, they can link it to mergers and acquisition. When you do M&A, you understand. They can link it to mergers and acquisition. They can use it to test cost of capital. Usually, they like to use it to test cost of capital because you need cost of capital to discount this thing. So usually, they always put a cost of capital question before it so that they make sure that it's the cost of capital that you determine that you use to discount this particular project. So they are practically doing about 2 or 3 in one question. Like I've told you before, SFM is actually intertwined. They can mix questions together. So those are all the topics we'll take. Now, let me start with the first one we'll start with, which is our basic NPV, our basic investment decision. Here now, I would not take too much time. I actually plan to finish it today. I plan to, because I'm not. It's not. It's something. It's something you guys should have done in PM. So it's not. It's not my. It's not my calling, or it's not my work, or it's not my job. To, how would I say it? To do it. You know how to discount now. You know how to do normal MPV. We've done it in bond valuation. You know how to do IRR. The only one you might have problem is your modified internal rate of return and the rest. Although I will still brush them through with you just to refresh your memory. I'm not a wicked person. Usually, normally, it's something I would have skipped, and I will tell you guys to go and read it. But because I'm a nice person, I will just brush your memory through them. I'm sure most of us have forgotten, or people that skipped skills. Anyways, now let's start. Basic investment appraisal. Now, let me start by first explaining what I mean by capital investment decision. Let's gist about what capital investment decision means. Now, when they say capital investment decision, there's no it is defined as there's no definition to it. But what it simply just means is, okay, it's just, how would I say it? It's just basically valuing your investment. Basically, it's just basically about valuing your investment or valuing your project. What I mean by valuing your investment or valuing your project is, okay, now you want to make investment, or you want to invest in maybe real estate, you want to buy a bond, whatever investment you want to invest. Now, if you invest in something, they tell you that, okay, in the next 2 years or in the next 3 years, they would have given you what's the name now? A required return. For people that did portfolio theory with me, they would have given you a required return that, okay, in the next year, this is the percentage, or this is the required return that you're supposed to make. Now, what I'm saying is, let me even put figures to it. You invest money, you invest about 15 million in a project. And they tell you that, okay, in the next 2 years or in the next 3 years, you collect 25 million or you collect 20 million. Now, me being a biochemist, as a biochemist, is a good investment. I'm putting 15 million, I'm collecting 25 million. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes,
Miss
sir.
Lizzie, why are you presenting on my screen? Lizzie, please quit presenting. Anyways, as I was saying, I said that somebody tells you, okay, come and put 150 million and collect 250 million. And I said, as a biochemist, I would have, what would I say? The more sharp investment. I'm making over 100 million profit. Agriculturists, all these agriculture people, food or not, food science, microbiology, all those people, they will say, sharp investment. But you as an accountant, you as a finance person, you don't need to think it's a good investment from the beginning. Why? Because you know that 250 million naira that you collect in the next 2 years, a lot of things has affected it, that the 250 might not be 250 again. Are we together? The 250 might not be 250 again. Now, okay, let me just even give you a practical example. I think I've given this example before. I told you a story where I said I wanted to buy, I finished the physical lecture. I wanted to buy, what's the name of this drink? Tim, normal bottle Tim. Then I gave the lady 500. Then in my own mind, I was expecting the lady to give me change back, because my head, I thought it was 200 naira. They said that's the end of that. The drink is 500 naira. I'm like, what? Tim is now 500 naira. She said yes. Now my point is, last 2 years, that 500 naira could have bought like 2 or 3 of that Tim. But now it's only buying one, meaning that the value of 500 naira as at today has reduced. So now imagine somebody that invested 100 naira or 200 naira last year, that they are told that come and collect 500 naira in return. It would have looked like a great investment, because the 100 naira was just a Tim money. The 100 naira could just buy only one bottle of Tim. Now they are telling the person to come and invest that 100 naira to get 500 naira, which you could use to buy 5 bottles of Tim as our last year or last year's. But the problem now is, if the person is collecting 500 naira now, is it still not the same value of Tim that the person is still using it to buy? Is it a good investment? No, it is not, because you are practically making the same amount of money again. So that is where you guys now come in. or that is where capital investment decisions now come in. You need to value, or you need to know the present value of this money so that you can know if it's a good investment or not. Now, what are the things that can affect the value of 500 naira as at last year compared to the value of 500 naira as at this year? First of all, inflation. That is what is battling with Nigeria right now. Inflation could have come into place where that the value of that 500 naira would no longer be the value of that 500 naira again. Do you understand? The value of that 500 naira is inflation is part. Another thing is time value of money. 2 years is a time value of money. Within 2 years, anything could have happened. So time value of money is also another thing that can affect that 500 naira from being five. That can stop that 500 from being 500. Another thing is economic forces. Other economic forces can also affect that 500 naira from being a 500 naira anymore. Now, when I say that, that is where you guys come in. You guys will now take that 100 naira that you want to invest as a last year or last 2 years ago. That 100 naira now is your present value, Abi. As at then, I'm talking about 2 years ago now. Okay, look it down. Let's leave 2 years ago. Let's come to today now. We have left 2 years ago. We are now today. So now I've collected that 500 naira that last investment, and I saw that this 500 naira is a very, very terrible investment. Another friend of mine now comes to me and says, okay, that 500 naira that you dropped now, come and invest that 500 naira. You know, I've made one mistake before now. Somebody has that time I was not chartered. So now that I'm not qualified, somebody now comes to me and says, okay, that 500 that you collect that you say is a bad investment. Come and drop it now. Come and drop that 500 naira now. We will give you 2,000 naira. Don't forget that 100 naira is times 4, Abi. That 100 naira is times 4 of the 500 naira that I dropped earlier. Yes, now, or times 5, but let me just use times 4 of that 500 naira. Now, let me say times 5. Somebody is now saying now, come and drop 500 now, come and collect 3,000. That's times 6. Am I speaking English? Please, are we together?
Yes, we are with you, sir.
Thank you. So what I'm saying is, you know, when I drop that 100 now to collect 500, that's times 5 that I collected. Now somebody is saying that, okay, that 500 that you collected, come and drop it and come and collect 3,000 naira, which is times 6. Sharp is a good investment, Abi. But you, now that you're now chartered now, it's now left to you to now say, okay, I made a mistake before, don't let me make it now. You see that 3,000 I want to collect in the future, in 2 years or 3 years, that's the future value. I don't know the future. I don't know who's going to be the president. I don't know anything might happen. But I know today. Today is Monday. I know today. So that 3,000 I want to use in the next 3 years, let me discount it to this value so that all things being equal, ceteris paribus, it means that if all things are being very, very fair, this is the amount I'm supposed to work. This is the amount I'm supposed to have in the next 3 years. So once you have that value, you will now decide, okay, is this a good investment? Is it not a good investment? That is what we are doing here. Basically, that is just all we are doing here. Now, let me not even use a real life scenario, or you just thinking it off head. You know that, okay, now let me move to future value. I've said future value and present value. Let me tell you a little difference between them. You know that human beings, naturally, you expect that where you are today is not where you want to be tomorrow. Abi, where you are today is not where you want to be next week. It's not where you want to be next year. So it means that automatically or naturally, your future value should always be higher than your present value. What I'm saying is, me like this, next year, next 2 years, I want to have millions of naira in my account. I want to have billions of naira in my account. It means that my future value should be more than the 1,000 naira that is in my account now. So automatically gives you naturally, your future value should always be higher than your present value. The only difference between your future value and your present value, the only thing that can increase the 1,000 or the 5,000 naira, the 1,000 naira that I have in my account now, is the effort I make, the interest, all the things I had to myself. I start laborer work, I start this work, I start lecturing, I start private tutor, I start all those ones. Those are the things that can increase my present value to the future value I want to be. So interest is the difference between present value and future value. I said interest is the difference between present value and future value. So all those things are things that can increase my present value to make me get to where I want to get to in the future. Now, that being said, now let's come back to the finance world. Let's come back to the accounting world. Now, looking at it from the top of your head, if somebody tells you, okay, come and invest 100,000. Let me share my screen so that I write this down for you. Okay, but let's still just be gisting about it. Now, somebody comes and say, okay, come and invest 100,000. Your interest is 10%. Your interest is 10%, Abi. Come and invest 100,000 for 3 years. Come and invest 10,000. 100,000 now, Abi. The interest is 10% for 3 years. My dear student, what will be the total? What's the total money in the first year? Oh yeah.
110.
110,000. Thank you. Next year, the second year.
120.
Lie.
No.
10,000 for each year, right?
You are collecting 10% each year now. So for the first year, the first year should be 110. Second one is 220, and the last year is 330. Abi now.
Is it cumulative, sir?
Yes. I see. Yes.
Listen to me. What I'm saying is, just listen. What I'm saying is, somebody tells you that, okay, come on. What I'm explaining is, if you drop 100,000, don't look at somebody's unmuted now. Don't look at. I'm not saying look at the interest alone. Do you understand? Don't look at the interest alone. What is the God of mercy, I won't take use this English now. What is the total amount you'll be collecting each year? Let's say you invest 100,000 now. Bam. First year you collect 110 now. That's 10%. You collect 110 the first year. You carry the 110, you invest it again. Abi, next year you collect 220 now. You carry the 220, you invest it again, you collect 330. That's the grammar I'm blowing. Just follow me. So that's the grammar I'm blowing. But what I'm trying to let you know that is that, okay, you see that 330,000 by investing the first 100,000 for the 3 years. Please, can everyone see my screen? Let's do it like this. So let's say 100. So there's a formula that you can use to convert your present value to your future value. There's also a formula to convert your future value to your present value. Now, you see those figures that you picked from the top of your head. Let's put them into calculation. So what I'm saying, what we are trying to deduce now, we are trying to deduce our what? We are trying to deduce our future value. Do you understand? We're trying to deduce our future value because now we know our present value. We're just trying to determine our what? Our present. We're just trying to determine our present. Okay, we know our present value. We're just trying to deduce our future value. Listen to me. You know what I said is, you invest 100,000, they give you 10% in the first year. Then you collect 110. Then you are investing the 110 again. Oh. See, what people are saying is this. Which is actually okay. Let me use you guys' example because it looks okay. So what I'm saying, 100,000. Let me do like this. Let me say year one. Watch. Let me say year one, 100,000. Year two, 110,000. No, 210. Sorry, 210. Then year three. That's 320. So year one is 110. Year two is 220. Year three is 330. Then year zero, that is as of now. Your year zero is 100,000. You know what I'm saying? This is the example I'm trying to use. But now, so what you guys are saying now is, okay, if you invest 100,000, you collect 10% on interest every year. I'll be just 10%. It's not as if you are investing that money for the next 3 years. This is what you have. I'm just trying to differentiate. This is what you have. You have for the first year, you have what? 110, Abi. Second year, you have 120. Third year, you have 130. Abi.
Yes. That's what we're saying.
Now, okay, let me go with this. So now, what we are saying now is, this is what I'm supposed to have, Abi. Now, let's do, this is just picking it from the top of your head. Now, let's now go back to our formula. So if we want to discount, we're trying to determine our future value. Now, let's now say future value equals to your present value, like this, Abi. Sorry, let me write this equation very well. Would this work? Would this work? Okay, I think it would work. 1 minute though. Okay, so I'm saying your future value is equals to your present value 1 plus what? 1 plus r raised to power what? Raised to power n. This will determine your future value. Now let's go. Let's say future value. Let me copy this again. Okay, now say future value. What's our present value now as at today? 100,000.
100,000. Yes.
Plus 1 plus r. Our r is 10%, 0.10 raised to power 3. This was my future value. It should definitely be more than 130. So what do I have?
133,100 naira.
133,100.
100 naira.
Can you see? So this makes you picking it from the top of your head, not exactly correct. So you need to actually put a formula to so that you can determine your future value. So you see this thing you've done here now. So what you've done here now is you've checked that okay, if you invest 100,000, the value of 100,000 as at today in the next 3 years will be what? The next 3 years will be 133,100 in the next 3 years. But the bad thing about this, about converting to future value, is that you don't still know the future. I don't know if that's why I decided to explain this in literal time so that you guys can paint the picture and paint it. This that you are doing, this does not solve your problem. You just know the value, but you don't know if it's going to be a good investment or not. You don't know if it's going to be a good investment because you don't know the future now. You don't know if this 133,000, if that's going to be the investment, if that's going to be the value in the future. But you just converted the money to future. If you look at it like, okay, you feel like, okay, I know the value of this 133,000 in future, so you don't exactly know. But let's now turn it the other way. When I say let's turn it the other way, let's assume somebody tells us that, okay, let's come and collect 133,100 naira in the next 3 years. How much is that 133,100 naira as at today? You understand? Let's convert it to the other way. So let's say somebody says, okay, come and invest. Let's say, what can I use now? Let's say somebody says, come and invest. Let me see, use the same 133,000. Now that you collect 133,000 in the future. That you collect 133,000 in the future, but you are investing, let's say you invest 110,000. Follow me. Now you're investing 110,000. Now, if somebody is saying, okay, in the next 3 years, this 110,000, you use it to collect 133,100. Looking at it, I know it's a bad investment, anyways, because for 2 years, why are you collecting 20,000? But don't worry, it's just an example. That okay, in the next 3 years, come and collect 133,100. Looking at it, you might think it's a good one. Just looking at it. Maybe it's because it's 100, but if I use 110 million or 133 million, you might be looking at it because it's big. But what I'm just saying is, look at what was going to happen. So let's convert. Now we know that our present value is 110. And in future, they say we should come and collect 133,100. So let's convert this 133,000 to present value. So let's say equation now. So you see, so your present value now your present value equals to your future value over over 1 plus what? Over 1 plus r is power n. Abi, you know this thing is still the same thing. The way people are already silent like this, you know this thing is still the same thing as, I know, and maybe people don't know this one. This is what people know. As the same thing as fair value, open brackets, 1 plus what a mess. I don't go do rubbish. 1 minute, please. N plus r raised power minus n. Abi, it's still the same thing. It's just law of indices. This is still the same thing as this. It's just this over that turned to minus here. If you put this here, it becomes 1 over. So you just cross multiply. It's just law of indices. Nothing is happening there. So this is still the same thing as this. Now, so let's put our figures there. So let's use this one. So if you come here and you say, so if you say what's our future value now? 133, 100 plus 1 plus, we are using 10%, raised to power minus 3. This was my answer. What's my present value?
Trade.
What?
100,000.
100,000. 100,000. Now, why I said this first one does not solve your problem, but this second one solves your problem is you are in today, you are not in the future. You are in today, you are not flash. You are in today, but today you know that this 100,000 that you want to collect, the value of this 100,000 as at today is not even worth it. Money that I'm investing 110,000. Sure, as I'm investing 110,000, you're telling me to come and collect 100,000 as at today. So you know that no, you know work. But an agriculturist, a food scientist, all these theater acts, they would have made this investment. That is what separates you. That's why they call you financial managers, so that you make all these decisions for them. You that you have done this, you tell them, Oga, madam, I'm very sorry, this investment, don't take it. In the next 1 year, if you break all these things down, say, okay, let me tell you something. If you tell an agriculturist that this 133,100 in the next, that 133,000 in the next 3 years, as of today, the value is 100,000, they will be looking at you like God. People know what I'm talking about now. They will be looking at, see, these people are very smart. See how? See smart. This is just this 3 line that you did, though. Because I'm even explaining itself, I could have done everything in 1 line. They'll be looking at you that, God gave these people 2 heads. It's a lie. Oh. It's just this small thing that you've just done. But the way you present it, you elaborate it. Tell them that, madam, I'm very sorry, this investment cannot work. Why can't it work? If you invest 133,000, okay, you're investing 110,000 now, and they tell you to come and collect 133,100 in the next 3 years. Madam, 133,100 in 3 years, the value as at today is actually 100,000, making you run at a loss of 10,000 naira if you make that investment. So please, madam, based on this report, you present your report. Don't make this investment. It's not left for the madam if she wants to make it, if she wants to make it or not. So what I'm saying is, this is why you need, or this is why we do present, this is why we do capital investment decisions, so that we decide or determine if we should make investment or not. Now, moving on. Now, for our basic investment decision, like I listed, I said we'll do what's the name? We'll do I don't forget to. So we'll do MPV, we'll do IRR, we'll do modified internal rate of return, we'll do payback period, we'll do discounted payback period, we'll do accounting rate of return. Now, for all the ones that involves profitability, any ones that involves profits, and discounting, listen to me, the ones that involves profit and discounting, they are NPV, internal rate of return, modified internal rate of return. That ones that deals with profitability and discounting. They are called discounted cash flows, all of them together. They are called discounted cash flows. But you see, the non-discounting or non-discounted cash flows, they are the other ones that we call they are the accounting rate of return, the payback period, and what was the name? All of them, payback period, accounting rate of return, project duration. They are non-discounting cash flow. But the first one are discounting cash flow. So the first one measures profitability. The discounted cash flows now, discounted cash flows, they measure profitability. The non-discounted cash flow, they measure liquidity. They measure what? They measure liquidity. You know that a business can be profitable and not liquid. Yes, now. A business can be profitable and not liquid. Example, let's say now you sell chairs. That's the only thing I can say. You sell chairs. Then in your store, you have a lot of chairs. Then any investor can walk in and say, with all these chairs, if all these chairs should be sold, people are very profitable. Because if you sell all of those chairs, profit to come. But it's not liquid because they are not being sold the way they are supposed to. They are not turning to cash. The inventory you have are not turning to cash, so it's not liquid. That's my example. Now, so let's start with we'll start with discounted cash flows first. Let me even run through that. I don't even know what is in the material. But before I take your question, let me just even see what I have in the material. See my name everywhere. This material, please, just leave that too. These are the characteristics of capital budgeting. I don't think anybody will ask you this one anyways. So capital budgeting evaluation, this is discounted cash flow method, non-discounted. So for the discounted NPV, internal rate of return, modified internal rate of return, duration, discounted payback period. So, okay, so with NPV. So this is NPV. Please read this advantage and disadvantage. It used to come out to advantage and disadvantages. It's not me that will be reading definition of what was the name to you? Definition of net present value. But anyways, now. Oh, I've taken our away. You've taken our okay. So advantages of NPV. It takes into consideration time value of money, absolute return based on cash flow, not accounting profit. Consider the whole life of. Please go and read all these ones, I beg. Go and read them. This is how to calculate your discount factor with annuity. People know all these ones already. So let me move on. These are the criteria for calculating NPV. So this is how to calculate your net present value. You subtract your cash inflow from your initial outlay. Then you get your net present value. You can also use it for people that did bond valuation. I don't think this should be a problem. But anyways, this is your NPV. This is if you want to use formula method. This is the tabular method. So you determine your NPV. So this is the decision rule. For independent project, if the NPV is positive, you accept. If the NPV is negative, you reject. If the NPV is 0, accept or reject depending on what other qualitative factors. But for mutually exclusive projects, mutually exclusive means if there are two projects that you are considering, if there are two projects, accept any project with the higher positive NPV. This is the example. People should do it and give my answer. Oh yeah. I don't want to stress today. People should do that first question and give me my answer. Is there anybody that cannot do NPV? Just raise up your hand. If you are here, you cannot do net present value.
You can't see the screen, sir.
I already sent the material to the group chat now. Just download it. I need to see people's hand. If anybody wants to raise up your hand, let me know so I'll know who to call. Is there anybody here that does not know how to do NPV, please? I don't think you should be here. I don't think anybody should be here, sorry. So there's nobody. Good. What do you want to see on my screen? The question is in the material now. I sent the material to the group chat first. That's the first thing I sent. Please use that one. Anybody has my answer already? People want me to be doing everything for you. No go work. Oh. Even if you come with people that will do it by yourself. Madam, now who's that? Aunda Akura, please, your mic. Yeah, what's my net present value, I beg? Wow. So let me see. I have one working not though. Let me see working. Someone should read the question for me first, I beg.
Blacklist Limited is considering the purchase of a machine costing 200,000, which will generate an annual cash flow of 46,000 for the next 5 years at a cost of capital at 5%. The machine will produce a scrap value of 10,000 at the end of the year 5. Calculate the NPV of the machine. Should the machine be purchased?
What's the name of the company?
Blacklist.
Oh, Blacklist. I think that was the movie I was watching as at that time. Yeah. What's my answer? We're already taking time now. What's our initial outlay? Our machine cost. What's our initial outlay?
200,000.
200,000. So we have 200,000 negative. Our year 1 to 5. You know, it's the same cash flow now. What's the cash flow?
46,000.
6,000.
46,000. What's our discount factor using annuity?
5%.
Discounting factor should be 4.32.
4.3294.
4.329.
I'm lost though. Okay, let me take the question. Hold on. Interview the cost of. Okay, the cost of capital of 5%. What do you not say? What do you say the cost of capital is?
5%.
What's our discount factor using annuity?
4.329.
4.3294.
I just use 3 decimal, please.
4.329.
Okay. What's my present value?
199,155.
199,155.
199,156 approximately.
So for the scrap value now, the cash flow is 10,000, yeah?
Yeah.
That's for year 5. What's the discount factor?
0.784.
So that means my present value is 7,840.
Yeah.
Abi? So what's my net present value? Yeah.
6,996.
6,996. 6,996. Is this what everybody had?
No, I got 7,020.
7,000?
7,020.
It might be little. The person, hold on. I beg, please. I don't want. Everybody got something. This person that gave me this answer, how many decimal do you use?
3 decimal, sir.
I think I will take this. Anybody else with this answer? Anyway,
Yes, sir.
I'm sure
7996.
please, your answer should be within this range. The answer is 79. I think it's too much. But like, it should be within this range. 699.
6,987. That's what
6,974.
I have.
6,974 is better.
Your answer, I think 974 should be the answer because that other one was 7840. If you had, I think it should be 784. Because we had 199135. 199, what did we have?
199.
Yes.
199,156.
No, people that called for me had 199134. So if you add it to 7,840, I think it's at 6974.
6974. Yes.
So if you had 199134, the last one should end with 4 now, not 6. Anyway, so this should be answer. So anything you get should be within this range. I've told you guys before, if you are doing MPV, always stick to a particular decimal. Don't do one decimal in one place, do 2 in one place. No. If you want to do 2, do 2. If you want to do 3, do 3. But always advise, the longer your decimal, the more accurate your answer is. So if you can, but 4, 5, they are just too much. You don't have that time. Because somebody's unmuted. 3, 4, 5, 6 decimals are too much. So you might not have that time. So that's why I always advise that, okay, just do 3 decimal and move on with it. So now with this, our MPV is positive. So what is our conclusion?
The project is worldwide.
Which
the project is variable.
Accept.
Did you people read the question?
Since the MPV is positive.
Putting the accept where the year. It should be purchased. You say the project is what?
The machine should be purchased.
There's a scrap value.
I don't know the project that is worthwhile.
The machine should be purchased.
Please, when you are writing your conclusion, write like a professional. Based on the calculation. Above, the NPV is positive, meaning the machine should be. If it's negative, go. If it's negative, go.
If it's negative, the machine should not be purchased.
The machine should not be purchased.
The machine should not be purchased.
Due to negative MPV.
Please, can everyone mute their mic, please? Thank you all. Please, based on what I just saw now, is there any question? Is there anybody that does not understand what we did now? Mr. Chimamu, please, can you put your hand down?
Sorry, sir, I want the answer for the year 5. What did you people get?
I don't know what they got to. I think 7,000, waiting. 840, are we?
836, right?
They had 840. 840, 836, no. But that's what they had. Anyways, please, what I did here, is there, or what they did, is it you that did it too? Is there any question with it, please? Mr. Chimamu, please, can you put your hand down so that I don't mistake it for anyone? So there's no question. The next one. Now, internal rate of return is the next. Internal rate of return. That's the next. So now for internal rate of return, people that did bond valuation class with me, you know the way it works. Internal rate of return is just saying, okay, you pick two, what's the name now? You pick 2 opposing discount factors. One must give you a positive MPV, the other one should give you a negative MPV. Nobody should ask me questions though. So I used to hear questions like, is it compulsory? It gives us positive and negative. What if one gives us higher and lower? Please, I don't care. For the purpose of my class, please use a positive and a negative. When you get to that person's class, you can use higher and lower. Because there's a trick to it now. Why are people now looking for higher and lower when you know that, okay, the higher the discount factor, the lower your MPV. If you do that, you obviously get a negative. On why people now trying to, I don't know. So for my own class, so use that one I taught you. Good. Anyway, so so you pick one cost of capital that gives you a positive cost of capital. You pick the one that gives you a negative NPV. So once you get it, to come and substitute into this formula. This your A. Your A is your A is what now? Your A is the discount factor that gave you a positive NPV. Your B is the discount factor that gave you a negative NPV. So you do this MPV. A MPV is your positive MPV. MPVB is your negative MPV. Like I always say, or like I always tell you people, don't make mistake of this sign here. I shouted this in bond valuation. Don't make mistake of this sign here. Not naturally, the sign here is minus. You check textbook, the sign here is negative. But because our MPVB is usually a negative MPV, because it is usually a negative MPV. So if you do minus, whatever you have multiplied by the minus that is here, it gives you positive. So that you don't make mistake. Maybe you forget one minus or you do one. That's why I kept plus, or that's why plus is just here direct. So it automatically it is there. So whatever you get, just add it. Don't bother doing the negative whatever anymore. So B minus. So whatever you have, you just go and put it there. These are the advantages of IRR and disadvantages of IRR. Please go back and read these things on your own. It's not, I will not come and be telling you the advantage and disadvantages. Go back, excuse me, go back and read them on your own. So for decision for IRR, if IRR for accept if IRR is greater than or equal to the company's cost of capital, if it's greater or equal to the company's cost of capital, accept. Then otherwise, vice versa, reject if it is lower. For mutually exclusive, accept any project IRR provided it is greater than the company's what cost of capital. Example one. Oh yeah, she. Yeah, do it. I came to relax today. We've done bond valuation now. Just do like we did bond valuation. Calculate the value of the bond. That is what they're asking you to do here. The value not change. But yeah, not value of the bond now. What's that? Calculate yield to maturity. Thank you. Yield to maturity of the bond. Yield to maturity. That's what we are supposed to calculate. We're good at the bond valuation class with me. I told you your IRR is like your cost of your yield to maturity is like your cost of debt. Is your yield is your return. So that in, you know, when you do your work now, you have KE, you have cost of debt. This is it here. So calculate your cost of debt. Do IRR. Oh yeah. Thank God I thought all these things first. Make me say they relax now, Abby. Don't forget what I told you. I already told you that please always make sure or always try. It's not even always just try that what's the name now? Okay, for this one now we don't have oh God of mercy. We don't have interest. We don't particularly have interest for it, so we cannot say okay, let's use our interest rate for but for the first one, I'm trying to look for a discount factor that can give all of us a uniform. Let's use 15%, please, for the first one. Let's use 15. Everybody. So once you use 15 will allow us to determine the second, whether we'll go higher or go lower. So please, for the first one, let's assume 15%, please.
But they've given us 10%.
I'm using 10 already.
They're
We're using 10
giving
already.
Why are you using 10?
See, the company's cost of capital is 10%.
The company's what?
Cost of capital is 10%.
Yeah, use 10%.
Thank you, sir.
So I'm using 10% because you told us why when computing this we should start with the cost of given by the question.
That's not what I knew this was going to come up. That's why I was just laughing. But that's not what I said. Cost of capital is not interest now. I said in that class, please watch that video. I said whenever you want discount with your interest that they say, okay, we are putting 150, they'll be giving us 10% interest. That's interest, not cost of capital. They are different. No, you can use cost of, if you use cost of, there are some mistakes that you will make that will fly, although you don't know the basis of them. You made mistake in the interpretation of the basis, but it will fly. In this kind of thing, if you use 10%, it will go now, definitely, it will fly. But not because of you knew that it was cost of capital, not interest. This one is cost of capital, not interest. In this question, they have seen the question and they've already given you the cash flow. They've already given you the money that is coming in 60,000, 75,000. They're not giving you in interest rate, they are giving you in value term, in monetary term, not in percentage rate. That's what I'm saying. But all the ones we've been doing, they would have given us maybe 10% or whatever. Don't let me catch anybody using annuity. I be use annuity. Does anybody here use annuity?
Annuity won't work.
I'm just saying, before you go and be doing what I don't know. You don't use annuity. Annuity cannot work. We can only use annuity when the cash flows are the same thing. These cash flows are different, 60,000, 75,000. So you have to do them one by one.
So the MPV got mine.
You got what? You got waiting. Okay.
Sorry, I just did one. Let me use a higher rate to get a
It's only one I
negative.
said we should do.
Like I've not gotten the higher rate.
10% is a positive.
The 10% is a positive, Abi?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So you are using a higher rate to get a negative.
So now that 10% is the positive now. So what do we do now? We want to get a negative MPV now. So do we increase it or we reduce it?
We increase it.
Eh?
So I've even tried 15. 15 still gave us positive.
Madam, please hold on. Please hold on. Answer my question. I said follow me. I'd not say go. I'd not say jump me. Follow me.
We
It's
increase
because I
it,
just
sir.
like you couldn't know it. Follow me. So the 10% gave us a positive MPV, Abi. And I told you
Yeah.
that the higher your discount factor, the lower your MPV. And we had a positive MPV. So now it means that if we increase our discount factor, our MPV will come down. What's the value of our what's the value of our MPV that we got?
16,000.
21,115.
21,115.
So
21,115.
So if you have 21, I've heard. So if you have 21,115, what it means is if you reduce that thing to, or if you increase that discount rate to 15%, it might still give you positive. Yes, now.
Yes, it's good but positive.
Because
yes, sir, it's positive.
I know. Just hold on. Let me finish my explanation. What I'm saying is it might give you positive because of the fact that 21,000 is a big number compared to the difference between 10% and 15%. 10% and 15% is not that much of a difference than compared to 21,000. So if you use 15%, there's higher chances that it would give you a positive figure. So if I were you, because of the discount, I'll just increase it to say 18%. I'm sure 18% will give me negative. Even that negative will be small. You see that when you do that, it will not be up to -5. It will be -5, -10. It will not be more than that. The negative will even be small. So you can increase it to 18%. I'm sure you would get negative. The negative will even be small, self. It will be very small. Maybe -2, each within -5. I don't know. It will be within that range. Oh yeah, Eshe. Is there anyone that doesn't understand what we are doing? I cannot be coming to class and come and be solving IRR now. That's how.
Excuse me, sir, please.
Yes, ma'am.
I got the 10% MPV I got is 21,166. But they had the different answers.
You had 155, not 155 at 166. as long as the difference, what I always look at in MPV or anything, even if I mark for my students, because if you do IRR, everybody obviously has the same answer. Everybody has even some MPV. Anything that has to do with rounding up or anything. What I always just look is the first figure. You have 21, they have 21, it's fine. Had it been you have 21, you have 19, they have 21, I would have said there's a mistake. For 21, 155, 21, 166, I'm sure it's an approximation error from somewhere.
Okay.
Some calculators have gone, the way they present your answer gives you error. If you're using market to make calculator, people will not go and buy original calculator. Yeah,
I got original. So did you give us the second discount to use?
I suggested 18%.
18%. Okay.
I suggested new. Let me come and close some of these things. How? I not saved it. Yeah. Close some of these things. I can say rubbish.
We have a negative figure.
I know you get it. What negative what?
1,980.
I knew it will not be too much. So what if I were you, I would be taking note of some of these things. What that means is if you had used 17 or 16, there's higher probability that you still get positive. That's the meaning. If you had used 16 or 17, there's higher percent. So all those are the things you need to consider so that it makes you work faster. Some people in the exam, they will try 15, they'll get positive. Or they would have even started from 13, positive, 14, positive, 15, positive. They'll not say, I don't tire. 16 will be giving them positive. And it's just common knowledge. You've had 20,000. You know that difference between 10% and 15% is not that much compared to 20,000. Before you reach 20,000 to zero, 10% and 15%, you'd have exhausted the 5% between them now. So just elapse. Just if that answer was something like 10,000, not 20, if it was 10,000, 15% would have worked. If it was 10,000 or 9,000, 15% would have worked. Because of that value, it will not work. So all those things will make your work fast. Oh yeah, what's my answer?
I got 18%, so I don't know, maybe it's correct. IRR.
Let's confirm other people's answer first.
I actually used 20%.
I used 22.
I will not take people's answer now, but I suggested 18%. So people that gave me 18, please, what's my answer? With 20%, people who have different answers. That's the crazy thing about IRR. But it doesn't mean your answer is wrong. But there's just no way for me to confirm it. So I'm sure your answer.
For 18% is negative 1,980.
17.3.
So substituting into the formulas, what do I have?
17.3, sir.
I got 17.52.
17.3.
17.31.
I got 19.73.
So now, moving on. So what's our conclusion going to be?
17.52.
Go.
We should accept it because the IRR is higher than a company's cost of capital.
Thank you very much, madam. So you say based on the calculation above, what's the name of the company again?
Ajanle Coco.
Ajanle Coco PLC should accept. Should not accept a buy. Should accept the project because the IRR of 17.3% is greater than what? I'm using different formats to write this conclusion so that you can learn but what is unmuted and is disturbing my class. Alabi Kendi.
Yes, sir.
Is the background noise that is coming from where you are? Thank you. Better than the company's costs of capital of 10%. Lobato. John Leko. Yeah, example 3. What's there? Is there anybody? Let me ask again. Is there anybody that doesn't understand what we did here? Please raise up your hand if you are here and you don't understand what we did here.
So please, can you like write out the IRR?
Oh yeah. The next one, I beg. I thought bond valuation. How would I take bond valuation? No, please. Thank you. The next one. MIRR, Abi. Let me cancel. I don't want to cancel these things. Anyways. So modified internal rate of return. So this one are just they are unconventional cash flows. What this is simply saying is because of the conflicting results, the way some people were getting 17, some people were getting 15, and all those things. So to minimize or to reduce some of all those errors, so that's why MIR was developed, so as to correct the conflict between MPV and IRR decisions. So these are the advantages. It eliminates multiple IRR rates. It produces a result that is consistent with the MPV decision rule. And all. So there are two methods actually. Listen, there are two methods of calculating MIRR. We have the terminating value of all cash inflows, and we have the using present value of cash inflows. For the purpose of my class, when you get to your center, people that have centers or they attend, when you get to your center, tell your lecturer, tell him to teach you this one. Tell him to teach you this first one. But for me, I no get strength. If you do the same, if you do the two, you give us the same answer. This one is more complicated. See, if you guys have noticed, I've been putting you through the easier way because I'm sure the way you people understood SFM from beginning, some of the things are beginning to weaken based on what things we've been doing. Do you understand? It's because of the method I've tried as much as possible to make you understand some of the trick I've given you. This if I'm preparing this material, I will not even put this first method because I will not even want students to know that there are two methods to prepare it. Because this first one is very complicated. So I will not even teach it at all. I'll just do the second one, which is very, very easy. When you get to your center, tell your lecturer to teach you this first one. So I'll just go to the second one. So this is the method to use. I even put the method there for people that are very curious. I want to learn. Go and use that one. But I'm not saying it. They've blocked my eye. They've used chewing gum to chewing gum my eye. So I'm just doing the second one. So the second one is using present value of cash inflow. So this is the way you do this one. So you do present value of cash inflow. So what it says is all the cash inflow that is coming in, discount it. All the cash flow that is going out, discount it. Whatever answer you get, come and put it in this formula. Easy peasy. So all the cash inflow, discount all of them, add them together. Cash outflow, summarize, discount all of them one by one, add them together, then bring them to this formula. So the decision rule is accept if MIR is greater than company's cost of capital. Reject if MIR is lower than the company's cost of capital. MIR is equal to company's cost of capital. Accept or reject depending on other qualitative factor. Tinubu PLC. Oh yeah, she. She means do it. Sorry, I'm already losing myself. It means do it. And some of you might be like, you don't know this one. You will do it. You will do it. Don't worry.
Explain it again, no.
Do it. Actually, let me rest today. So I said what it means is discount all the money that is coming in, discount all the money that is going out, one by one. Read the question. The question is saying Tinubu is considered an investment in the project, requires an immediate payment. I already told you anything that whenever you hear immediate, you hear now, you hear currently, you hear as at today, you hear presently, it just means year zero. Please, moving forward, you need to keep into that information. That's what I can use to fail student too. Whenever you hear currently, you hear as at now, you hear immediately, you hear whatever that it is shall now, it means as a year zero. So this requires an immediate payment. So this is your cash outflow. So your cash outflow is 15,054. Or 15,000 is a year zero, 54 is a year one. Do you understand? So discount those ones, add them together, do the MPV, do the present value, do the present value. This is the cash inflows. Discount them one by one. Discount this one year one. Discount this one year two. I think the discount factor is 8%. Discount it year one. Discount it year two. Discount it year three. Discount it year four, year five. Add everything together. Let's not go and put it in that formula. People must know book by force by fire.
Oh, sure.
No.
When we have these two,
I know hear you.
when we have these two outflow, what are we going to do? When we have these two
Just
outflow?
leave it to one side now. Not go and do inflow. So once you are done, you're not going to put it in that formula I gave you up. Just do outflow and inflow first.
So please,
Get to
what
that
is,
formula.
are we using 8% as?
Yes, ma'am. That's the cost of capital.
So what is our zero?
Discount factor.
8% now. See it here. What's our waiting again? Ask me.
And which figures are we going to use as a zero for the base, like the base zero?
Somebody's unmuted, please. Yeah, apart from lady that is asking me a question. Please, madam, I'm listening to you.
And which figures are we going to use after the 15,000 now? And 5,400. Are we going to add them together?
Yes, now what we are calculating, see the formula again now, is present value, not net present value. You know, it's because of the zero that we are subtracting from the rest. That's why it's net. You know, they call something net. Now, net means inflow minus outflow. Do you understand?
Yes.
If they call something your net profit, you've removed all the money that came in and all the money that went outside. That's why it's net. But for this formula, it's just present value, not net. Just discount and add it together. We are not subtracting it from anything because we are not determining net. So it's just present, just do the two and add it together. So that year zero, you are adding it together. Don't go and be putting it in negative. Do you understand what I'm saying? For this first outflow, that is year zero. You know, normally you would have put it because it's year zero now, you'd have put it in bracket. But I'm saying that because we are not determining net, it's not net now, it's just the present value that we are trying to determine. So because we are not determining net, you don't need to put it in year zero, just discount this one, add the two of them together. Global law. This one to discount each and every one of them and add them together. That's all. Please, you can ask me your question.
Draw it.
Not doing anything,
Sir,
madam.
the question I'm asking, the present value, is it this formula, future value over 1 plus r into bracket, raised to power n? Like for year one, it will be 6,500 over 1.0 into brackets, raised to power 5.
I don't know.
We are going to
Just
one by one. I'm
new.
just asking for the guidance. You've given us the formula. Are we going to do it on yearly basis and we now add them together?
Yes, you do yearly basis. You do year one for year one,
Yeah.
you do year two for year two, you do year three for year
Okay.
Right. People must know book by horse by fire. Is there everything you want me to be doing for you? If I even vex if I will not even do the rest, then I'm actually you cool off on.
Maybe you do one for us, then we'll do the remaining now. Do
No,
one for us.
I know do. Thank you. Do it. People should answer me. Do it. Do it do. I know some of you might be mooning, some of you might be complaining. But I know what I'm doing.
The PV, the total PV, 39,165.
Hey, madam, what do you say you got, Jerry? Leave people that live still working.
9,165.31.
Which one is that? Which one is that? Sorry.
Becoming down.
Cash inflow.
Cash inflow.
Yes, sir.
So you said you had what? 31?
39,165.35. So we can eliminate it and leave it at 39,165.
Shit. Wait for also, sir.
Let's wait for another answer to confirm it. But that answer they look like poison, but no.
That was too harsh.
Madam, please confirm that your answer again. I don't have the solution, honestly. I'm just looking at it from the top of my head. You might be correct.
Sir, is wrong. Let me respond.
So I got 23,272.
That looks more like it. It's not supposed to be too much. Why am I see? Let's see something. Let me tell you something. SFM is very simple if you know it. Why am I saying that? Why did I know that? That answer. See, why I feel like I passed SFM for knowing what is wrong than what is right. Listen to me. I knew what was wrong more than what is right. So when I do what is wrong, I know that this one not correct. So why I knew that our answer might not be correct or most likely not be correct is the fact that you see this first inflow. If you discount this first inflow, you will not have anything more than 25,000 because this 15,000 is 15,000 because it's year zero now. This 5,400, even if you discount it using 0.90, using 10%, the figure will not. So if you discount it using 8%, you should be having something like 4.8 to 5,000 or 4.5 within that range. So that means your inflow will be like 20,000 ish, 20, 22, or 18 within that range, 18 to 22,000. So for this one, if you're not having 30,000, it's getting too much. So the range of what you have here should not be far from that 20,000. I'm just basically assuming. I'm not saying that's correct. I'm just assuming. But I think that should be the answer.
24,466.81.
24,000 still look a little bit more like it. But I think we should have an answer, not different answers. Please. Let's all use three.
Sorry, for the outflow, I would expect to use zero. Like, sorry, I expect to use zero as it, like, call it as year 0, 1.
Yes, year zero.
Okay.
Don't just put it in brackets. That's the only thing.
So for the first one, I got 19,999.86.
19,999. That's 20,000 now.
For the first one, I got 22,035. 032.
I don't think 22,000.
Okay.
We should have 20,000.
Please, for the first one, I got 20,000.4. Then
yes, I think
the second one I got 23,271.25.
Yeah, I think that's more like it. So I think
23,463 is what
so.
I
Let's do
got.
like this. Let's do like this. So for the first one, if you don't have, please hold on. For the first one, if you don't have 20,000, and second one you don't have 23,000, please cross-check your work. The first one should have 20,000. Second one should have 23,000. Check the decimal. Make your discount factor in 3 decimal places. Ask me.
Please, what is the first one and the second one?
What do you mean? What is the first one? What is the second one?
Because I'm hearing 20,000. I'm lost.
They are doing cash inflow and cash outflow. The first one is the cash outflow, which is this 15,054. This one is the cash inflow.
Oh.
So they are saying first one, second one. So cash outflow is the first one they are referring to. Cash inflow is the second one they are referring to.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, ma.
So I think.
God. Please, I want to understand something.
Ask me, madam.
So after discounting, am I going to less it from?
I just told you. You're not lessing anything. It's not net present value. You can only net less when it's net. The formula is present value alone. There's no net. They just add everything together.
So I had 23,269.
So if you have 23,000, I think you are correct.
Yes.
That's for the inflow.
I have 23,000 for the inflow. Then
For the outflow, 20,000. Around that 19,999, that's 20,000.
So how do I do the outflow, please?
How do you do the outflow as in?
Yes.
See the figures here now. Let's discount 15,000, discount 5 for add them together.
Okay, then I'm going to less it, right?
Let's see from where.
I don't understand.
What is your own with lesson? You're not lessing anything. Discount this one, add it together.
With which percentage?
What do you mean which percentage?
I use 8% for this first one.
8% you are using. That's the company's cost of capital, and inflow and outflow is still the same interest rates they are using.
Sir, like the thing is it raised to power what? Is it 0 or 1?
For the first 15,000, I already explained. You see, but I've not been listening to me. Okay.
I don't understand.
After computing everything.
No,
I
my
think the
problem is
MIR
people don't just want to understand. You just want me to solve it. I already explained this thing. The first, the outflow part, immediate payment means as a year zero. It means as a now. So I'm expecting you guys to do 15,000 as at today, as at now. Discount it with year zero. That is 1.00. Get 15,000. The second one is, please let me finish. The second one is, please let's all mute our mic, please. I beg. The second one is 5,400 and it's telling you for the first year. The second one is already year zero. You have 15,000. We discount the second one with 5,400. That's 1 year. Use 8% as your cost of capital. Add whatever you get, add the two of them together. That's your present value of cash outflow. Leave that one. Go and do cash inflow. Discount all of them one by one. Add it together. Take it to the formula. How is that hard?
Thank you, sir. I've gotten it.
I will not be there in exam. I know some of you are saying that it's your first time. You have not seen it before, but this is the basics now. We should not be. Anyways.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Sure.
I get 3.64.
I beg you.
You love.
So you're not saying anything on my answer.
How you want to get 3.64? How? I'm saying 20,000. They get 3.64.
And you want to stop it?
Ow.
Don't do that.
You say I should talk. What do you want me to say? I say answer is 20,000. They get 3.64. How?
I think the answer is 11. Currently, I'm getting 20,832. While for the second one, 23,463.
I already told you, if you got 20,000 or 23, it means you are correct. I don't need you to be telling me your answers again.
After the whole computation, sir, is 11.3 MIRR.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. This same person is I know we don't have the same learning capacity, I know, but this is still just, this is the basics now. People start want me to do everything.
MIRR got 11.32%.
Don't know, maybe you are correct or not. Don't do anything. Don't anything there. Don't even anything. Because the same way I explained is the same way I explained for everybody.
Pardon me, sir.
I'm not pardoning you.
Oh, but the heat is killing me.
That's why you decide to not understand what you're doing.
The heat is killing me. Let me even see what you're explaining.
I'm sure some people ask me.
So I got 11.3.
Thank you. I'm just some people ask me the meaning of this comma now.
That was the meaning.
That one day on our pocket. What's this discount factor, Joe? The one that they are supposed to bother about, they will not bother. What's the meaning of comma?
0.926.
0.926. What's my present value?
5,000.
5,000.
5,800.
People should press calculator very well. Now that thing is 5,000. 5,000. Where am I getting 5,800 from?
I got 11.4%.
What I did was so different. I didn't know I was going to do like this.
So this one I don't have here 0 now. So I have here 1. The inflow, I will not even outflow. Which one is inflow? Which one is outflow again? The first one is it outflow? This one is the inflow.
The first one is outflow, the second
The
is
first one is
inflow.
outflow. The second one is inflow.
So please call those figures for me, please.
6.5.
1 minute, please. So you said 6,500,
Yes.
Yeah,
7,750.
7,750. Yeah, 3 uncle.
5,750.
5 or 9.
5,750.
Yeah, 4 uncle.
4,750.
Yeah, 5 uncle.
3,750.
So discount factors for year 1.
0.926.
0.92. Year 2.
For year one, sir. Year 2, 0.57. 0.857.
857. Year 3.
0.794.
Igbo Collins, please help me with your mic, I beg. So I'm with you. 0. What?
794.
794. Year 4.
0.735.
Last year.
0.681.
0.681.
681.
So my present value.
6019 for year 1.
6019. Year 2.
6641.75.
6642. Year 3.
4566.
4566. Year 4.
3491.
3491. Last year.
2554.
25. So what's my total?
23,272.
Thank you.
272.
Please, how is this hard? So even if it's not, let's assume they are even calling out, they are explaining answer for you in your exam, or even they will not happen. So you will not understand it. If somebody is just there explaining to you, they discount the first one, just they give you a scope. How you be saying although nobody will call answer for you in that kind of exam. Like. Oh yeah. What is that my formula again? People are just testing me unnecessarily.
PV of cash inflow, also the PV of cash outflow.
After this thing will not scatter like this.
1/5.
Please don't scatter. Please help my life. I cannot type this thing again. Oh.
They're shooting down in my area.
because PV of waiting again. PV
Cash inflow.
PV of cash inflow over PV.
PV of cash outflow.
So for you, PV of cash outflow.
Bracket open and close. Raise to power. Bracket open and close, like open and close the bracket.
Four point 7
I made a mistake. I want it to, okay. People are saying the struggles I'm going to.
Sorry, sir.
People should not pass. I get problem go happen.
Pass. Who will pass?
Will shock you.
Don't shock. Which one is shock me? Shock yourself.
Prize winner. So you are talking with prize winners.
People don't like can prize. So let's go and pass your exam. If you like win prize.
They'll give you 5,000 naira price.
Your job security.
Oh, please call that thing for me again. PV.
PV of cash inflow all over. PV of cash outflow. We shall understand. Okay. Raise to power 1 all over 5. Sorry, 1 over n. Sorry. Times brackets open and close 1 plus 0 point. Sorry, 1 plus r.
So
No, minus 1.
what's the PV of our cash inflow?
23,274. That's what they give me.
This is the figures I got. 272.
Yeah, 272. All over 20,000.
Just my number of years.
5 years.
What's
R
my
0.08.
So what's my MIRR, please?
I got 11.32%. Don't know about that.
I'll DM you for private lecture.
You will not face what we are doing here. It's gone that they are sitting in your area and oh yeah. So should the project be accepted or rejected?
To be accepted, it is higher than the company's cost of capital, which was 8%.
Who is that? Oh God, that's
What's that?
Abego.
Chimaobi, please help me with your mic now, please. Yeah. What's the next one? Non-discounted cash flow, payback period, and what? And account. I told you people I'm finishing it today, whether you like it or not. I'm moving to good one next week. And I don't have time to continue these ones next week. But yeah, so accounting rate of return. Payback period. Now, payback period is actually very easy. It's one of the easiest stuff. What payback period is simply just saying is okay. It's usually expressed in years, anyways. But like, it's what it measures. Is used. It's just used to determine the number of years. The number of years it will take. Let me say now. You want to invest in all those investments that we've made. We've been saying 3 years, 2 years. All those things are just estimated years. So this payback period always it measures the number of years that it will take you to recoup your initial investment. Now you pay 1 million naira or you invest 1 million naira in something, and you are collecting maybe 20% or 30% or something depending. So payback period would allow you to calculate the amount of years it takes you to recoup your 1 million naira back first. Do you understand? The amount of years it takes you to recoup your 1 million naira back first. So I said it equates cash flow. Payback period is often used as a first screen process. It's usually measure liquidity. How could the company can recover the initial investment on the project? Please note this thing. Note this. It should be noted that payback period is based on what? Expected future cash flow and not accounting profits. Future cash flow. Either based on future cash flow, not accounting profit. You guys know accounting profit is inclusive of what? Somebody.
Depreciation.
Thank you very much, madam. It's usually inclusive of depreciation. So, and that's no, we are using cash flow. So we need to eliminate any factor of what? Any factor of depreciation. Yeah, that's just basically the difference of what we are doing. So anyways, so let's start. If I say people should do it now, you'll be complaining. Advantage of payback period 3, 4. Please learn them. The decision rule for independent, accept if payback period is lower than or equal to management predetermined payback period. Accept any project with a shorter payback. You know that the shorter payback period, any payback period that is short is good now, because it means that it takes you lesser years or lower years to recoup your money back. Somebody is unmuted and is disturbing my class. Juliet Kuomola, please. Your mic is disturbing my class. Pastor, please, you want to ask me a question? If you're streaming on YouTube and you're still there, you can join the class. I think there's a little space. Pastor, please, you want to talk to me? We are. Okay. So let's continue. So this is the question. Okay. So see the formula here: cash outflow over cash inflow divided converts number of years. So this is usually the way we calculate it. So let's say we have 100,000 cash flow. You subtract this cash flow from this. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I'm saying is your year 0 now is your initial outlay. 100,000. This is your cumulative 100,000, 100,000. So you bring this 100,000, you subtract 40,000 from 100,000. So you have this 60,000 negative. So what you're saying is you spent 100. Let me explain. This first one means you spent 100,000 in year 0 as an investment. Then year 1, you recouped how much? 40,000. It means that there's still 60,000 to be recouped. Then the next one, 70,000 entered. But the thing now is, it has 70,000 naira has entered. You've recouped all your total investment from here, because 60,000 has entered the 70,000. You have recouped all your money from here. So what you now do is you will now say, since it means that you recouped 40,000 in just first year. So that's 1 year. You now take this 60,000 divided by 70,000. Whatever you have, that's number of years. So for this one now, it gave us 9 years. So it will take this person 1.9 years to recoup his total money. Let me come again. What I said is you invested 100,000 in year 0. Then in the first year, cash flow, money came inside. Maybe the person is paying you interest. The person that paid you interest of 40,000. Means that there's 60,000 to be recouped. The second year, the person that paid you 70,000 naira. I know it's 60,000. That means you've recouped all your total money now. Abi, you've recouped all your total money. So, but it only took you 1 year the first year and at the 40,000, but you need to calculate the month also. This 9 means 9 months. So you need to calculate the month. So you now say 60,000, which is the total money that was left to be recouped, divided by the one that they gave you. So 60,000 divided by 70,000, we had 1.9. Yes, example. But people should do this one now, and I know good. Will you try it? No.
Yes.
Don't even try it. This first one is even very easy. This first one is just since there is no plenty cash flow. I think the cash flow is just one. It's just what's the name? It's just this one. It's just like 100,000 and 250,000. There's no, how would I say it? The cash flows are the same. It does not differ, so you don't need to separate them. So you know the formula is cash inflow. What's the formula again? Cash outflow over cash inflow. So you just divide the outflow. The outflow is 250,000 divided by the inflow of 100,000. What would that give me?
2.5.
2.5. And the management said 2.5 years as also their stuff. So it equals to the project payback period. So it means the project should be what? It should be undertaken since it means what the management wants. I don't think you are understanding my grammar. Am I too fast?
Yes, please. I'm lost, sir. Please.
I know some people will be lost. And it's just simple grammar.
You said initial capital with what? Outflow.
It's all of us that will stay anytime we leave here.
12.
When we start investment appraisal, let me first give you heads up now. We'll be here till 1 in some classes. Okay, they tell you now. But first things is I don't used to do unsolved question that I will solve. I will now complete it. Like if I solve half like this, if I don't finish, you will go and finish the rest. So that all of us wait and we finish it, or you will go and complete it. So that's why we'll stay at till 1 in some classes. Maybe we even start today, self.
No.
Beg. I beg, they beg.
Beg.
You put in your homes. You are still begging me that I'm outside that could want to injure me.
Sir, where are you? Are you not in your house?
It's outside the compound now.
Oh, Jesus, it's the finished person. It's
Outside the
better.
Hope you are safe.
You're not shooting gun in my area, don't worry.
Stop, they're no more shooting anymore.
So what's our cash outflow for that question?
50,000.
Nibo.
250.
Okay, let's try 50,000. So what's the constant cash inflow?
100,000.
100,000.
So what's my payback period?
2.5 years.
Madam, this is what I was trying to explain. Le bâton.
Thank you.
But this one is easy because the cash flows are constant. If the cash flow is different, it will not be easy like this. So I'm not so you not say conclusion. The management waiting like this. Which grammar won't blow like this? With the management,
Okay.
we determined payback period. Yeah. Next example, example 5. Let me do the one that the cash flow is not constant. Then I would example 5. Is somebody with a question for me? Oh, yeah, are we sleeping?
Okay, example 2. Example 2.
Investor Sabinus
Investor
Limited.
Services Limited is currently considering two mutually exclusive investment projects. Both projects are concerned with the purchase of new plants. The company made available the following data for the project. All figures are assumed to be correct. Yes, the company has an estimated cost of capital of 10% and employs the straight-line method of depreciation for all fixed assets when calculating net profit. The company has sufficient funds to make all capital expenditure required, calculate the payback period for each period, and advise which of the two projects to be selected.
Sorry, sir. Thank you very much. So now, don't forget something. These kind of questions are very tricky. Some people will take all these informations now and start subtracting. No. Why? Because you cannot subtract now because I told you earlier, I said, what did I tell you? I said we deal with inflow here. We deal with cash flow, not accounting profits. Are you listening? We deal with cash flow, no accounting profits. And in this accounting profits now, they would have subtracted, they would have included where now if I've started today, who is unmuting mic and disturbing my class. Oh yeah, Wally Michael. Thank you. So what I'm saying is, that they would have subtracted depreciation to determine that profit. When you do your operating profits now, or when you do your profit before interest and tax, or profit before you determine your profit before anything, you shall subtract depreciation before you can get your total profit. Now, we don't want to use accounting profit. We need cash flow. Do you understand? We need cash flow. So it means that we need to account for that depreciation and add it back so that we determine our what? So that we determine our cash flow. Please don't forget this piece of information. For payback period, we use what? Accounting. So we use cash flow, no accounting profit. And if you look at this question here, they said expected profit. So this means an accounting profit. Expected annual net profit. So it means accounting profit. So we need to account for depreciation, add it back, then determine our cash flow. So let's start. So the first question, Tinubu, is it Tinubu Abi Investor Sabinus?
Sabinus.
Investor Sabinus.
The second one is Sabinus. The first one is Tinubu.
The first one is Big Brother now.
The first one Abi.
The one of two.
Is it Big Brother or Tinubu? Is it Big Brother or Tinubu?
Is Investor Sabinus.
Big Brother, sir.
You wrote it there, sir.
I've done Big Brother.
Yeah,
Big Brother is 2 points.
So Investor Sabinus. So first thing you say, determination of annual depreciation. So come here, say so you see what's the formula for depreciation?
Cost minus scrap value over years.
Number of years.
Cost minus residual over number of years. Those are our costs in the question. We are.
For product A is
200,000.
200.
Okay, there's even
For
product.
A, 200,000.
Let me say product. So you said 200,000. What's my residual value?
40,000.
40,000.
What's my residual value is?
14,000.
14,000.
14,000.
14.
What's my number of years?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years. So what's my annual depreciation?
62,000.
62,000.
So 62 for product giver.
We have 120,000 for the costs.
120 for the cost. The residual value.
12,000.
12,000.
Number of years, 3 years.
3
years.
years. 36,000.
36,000. 36,000.
36,000. So these are our depreciation now. So let's go and add it back to our accounting profits. So you come here, you say year. So you come here, you say year. Say accounting profits. Do you have any loss here?
Yes.
Yes,
So
there's loss.
accounting profit.
There's loss here too.
Losses.
Yeah, too.
Yes, yes.
You say depreciation. And you say cash flow. So what's my, okay, so let me see, year 1, year 2, year 3. So what's my accounting profit for year 1?
58,000 for A.
58,000.
Okay, we are doing A, that's true. Let me say product. Let me say product. Yeah. For year 2, go.
2,000 naira loss.
Loss of,
Year
yes,
3,
2,000 loss.
4,000 naira.
Profit of 4,000.
4,000. What's our depreciation?
62,000 a year.
62,000 or year. What's my cash flow?
120,000.
Don't subtract it, though.
Yeah, we are adding together.
I know. I'm just
Adding.
informing people. I'm informing people. Don't subtract it. We are trying to, this one would have been
Okay.
subtracted before. Would have been subtracted before determining this figure. So you want to add it back so that you can get all your total cash flow. So this one I have 60K.
60,000.
So I have 66.
66,000.
Let me do product B. Now I want total. So I'm not be missing on our work. Yeah. Accounting profit. Accounting profit.
36,000.
36,000. Loss of 4,000.
8,000.
Then year 3, profit of 8,000.
What's my cash flow?
72,000 for year 1.
It's 32.
32,000. 32 years.
This one is 44.
44,000.
You are now. Who is that person? If you're not calling figures for me, please just help me with your mic. I beg. B Ashegun, the noise is from your side. Calculating your payback period. I think I have about, let me see, project A. So I have about maybe 4x6 first. 4x5. So I have here. I have items. I have cash flow. I have, let me say, balance. For the first year now, so I have year 0 now, have initial outlay. How much is my initial outlay for project A?
200,000.
200. A? 200,000. So my balance is what?
200,000 minus.
200,000.
Balance is 200. So for year 1, what's my cash flow?
120.
120,000.
120,000.
So you say 120,000. So 200 minus 120.
80,000.
80,000.
I have negative.
80,000.
I have negative of 80,000. Year 2, what's my cash flow?
60,000, sir.
60,000.
60.
60.
So that means we still have what now?
Just
20,000.
Negative
20.
negative 20.
We have negative 20. Year 3 encore.
66,000.
We have 66,000.
66.
So what do I have now?
Positive 46,000.
No.
46,000
Positive
positive.
Ow.
46.
Ow.
No, we'll divide the 20,000
Good. So we are going to divide
over 66
Thank you. So let
to
me
get the minimums.
so the trick is the moment you get a positive, just know that that's the end of the project. Because what that positive means is that this negative, what it means is this is the amount of money remaining. The person, look at it from this, you invested 200. First year they gave you 120, you remain 80. Second time they gave you 80, you remain 20. Now they're giving you 66 out of the 20,000. Now that person is not owing you any money again. So you just need to divide this by this to know the number of years that is remaining. So you come here, now say payback, bring it down a little. So you say payback period equals to, but you know this is 2 years now. This is year 1, year 2. So you now say 2 plus 20,000 over 66,000.
Zero point 3.
2.3.
2.3.
2.3 years.
2.3 years.
So you now say pay
2 years, 3 months.
3 minutes, bow.
2 years, 3 months.
Okay, so you say 3 minutes. I will say how you take calculate your own 3 minutes.
2 years, 3 months.
That's 3 months. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what I have here. Trying to check something. Okay. So please, assignment. So the assignment is first of all, please do and then I don't payback period. Okay. So do the what's the name? Do the B part of this one we just done. Do the project B part of this and attempt the question one. Not even attempt, do the question one in the question bank without the accounting rate. I don't have to touch the accounting rate of return, so you can leave that. So that's where I'm starting from in the next class. Or should I run through accounting rate of return? Let me know I'm done with it.
No, please.
No.
No, please.
Yeah, let's go. No sleep for the wicked.
You say?
For the sake of we Muslims, please, we women, we still stand up at the midnight in few hours time to cook, please.
Madam, I'm a man too, and I'm a single stupor, and I will wake up and cook too. Together day.
Please.
Together day.
At least we'll rest for some time and still wake up. Thank you.
I've not decided. Don't thank me yet. I did look my calendar first. Let me see what I have to do if I can meet up. But anyways, accounting rate of return will not take me 10-15 minutes in our next class. So I think I can make with that. So please do the question one in the question bank and without the accounting rate of return and do the project B. And please submit to me and please submit early. Don't be submitting on Friday or on Saturday. So your lecture on Wednesday is coming. Please, I need you guys to or no, it's just been long years about that lecture. But please, I need you guys to really follow up with cost of capital because when we move to our next week class on Monday, a lot of cost of capital stuff will be coming up. So, and I would not want problem with it. Please, regarding anything I've spoken about today, please do you have any question, please? Please just open and ask me if you have any question.
No question.
So everything I spoke about today is clear.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please attempt the there's something I want to add to this question. My mind is telling me there's something and I cannot remember. There's one more thing we've spoken about today now. Hey, modified internal rate of return. I know there's something else. Please 1 minute to we have outflow here. Do we have inflow? Okay, we need to start cash flow. Okay, so please add modified internal rate of return to this question, please. Add modified internal rate of return to this question. Would it even work? Okay. Sorry, let me look if you work first, though. Let me look if you work. Oh. I think it will work now. One is inflow. If you discount all of them using 10%, it will work.
We have the rates already.
Add modified internal rate of return to this question. So you're supposed to do MPV, do IRR, do MIRR, and do payback period, and do the project B of that other one that we spoke about. Okay, so please submit early. Once again, 10 o'clock. This is 9:30. That's a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
On that note, thank you guys very much for listening. And I will see you guys next week.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. I give you a good wife.